Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you had a great day. Today we are looking at some new r/malicious compliance stories. I hope you enjoy them. The first story is called They Hired Me Back. My story begins with my third real job in my life. To my surprise and pleasure, I was headhunted for this job. It was a large company with great benefits and such. It was a mutual fund business, no less. So it was able to invest a lot in its culture, and it was almost a no-brainer to go work there. After I accepted the position in legal disclosure, it didn't take long for me to learn that I had been chosen over a very beloved in-house applicant. So I was starting with negative points on the likable scale. So I put my nose to the grindstone. I absorbed all of my training. I began adding value as early as possible. I got good at my job. I even made friends with many people in my department. Life was good. I had a great work-life balance and was close to engagement with my boyfriend at the time. Now he's my husband. The job was really excellent, with a good health insurance where having a baby would cost me maybe $1,000. Score. It didn't take long for crunch time to hit my department. I eventually learned that my initial period of working at the company was a bit of a blissful blip. Because in mutual fund legal disclosure, it's pretty much always crunch time. Between making sure every single word of legalese is perfect to avoid being sued and making sure the cadre of lawyers are happy at all times, a lot of overtime was required. It felt like every week it was more and more overtime being asked of me. Overtime was fine because I got that time and a half pay after 40 hours. But it became abundantly clear that my work-life balance was not important at all to my boss. I was happy to give a good amount of my time above 40 hours to this position. But it was very common for me to be sent documents via courier to review on the weekends. I wouldn't get home often until past dinner time. The pay was great. But the most important thing to me at the time was cultivating my relationship with my boyfriend, the man I knew I would soon marry and have babies with. I tried to work things out with my boss. I suggested that I come in extra early so I could leave in time to make dinner at a decent hour and enjoy the evening with my soon-to-be fiancé. I also offered to take work home with me. But nothing was okay. It was all on my boss's schedule and preferences. Staying until 8 PM at the office was beginning to be mandatory. A few months go by. This overtime thing is now normal. I'm frustrated because I'm trying to plan marriage prep sessions with my boyfriend and our church. But my boss doesn't care. I can't make this up. One day in December, when the overtime was particularly bad for everyone, we all arrived at our cubicles to discover cute little notes with Santa quotes. People need me, they depend on me. We are doing something important here. I wanted to scream. I knew that our purpose is to make all the fund managers more rich. This is not Santa Claus important. And here is where the malicious compliance comes into play. I was hired at this company in 2008. After less than half a year, given my normal hours and all of the overtime pay, I had contributed enough to my 401k to take my future family of 4 to stay on site at Disney World for a week. Do you all remember 2008? Major financial meltdown. Mutual fund companies were hit hard. I was taken into a conference room one day and told that as the most recent hire in my department, I was being laid off. Okay, that sucked. But I carried myself well, cleared out my desk, headed home and baked cookies. All while knowing that I had a very generous severance package coming my way. Did I mention that our department was very busy? At that point we had been approved to hire a temp to assist with the workload. So when I was laid off, the department still needed extra help. It needed extra help before I was laid off. And I was good at my job. So I got hired back for my old job. The temp pay was less than my hourly pay. But I negotiated to the point of making it the same amount. In order to make it legal, so I could keep my severance and not get the company in trouble, I couldn't attend regular staff meetings. And I couldn't work overtime. I had to follow all of the rules for temporary employees. I have to admit, I felt so bad for the people I had become friends with in the department. My 40 hours would be up for the week, sometimes by Wednesday. And I would happily walk out of the building while they still trudged through miles of documentation. The end of the story? I had a lovely work-life balance. I got engaged. I married my boyfriend and had 2 lovely children. I had enough time to become certified in my chosen profession and start my own freelancing business. I eventually took us all to Disney World with my 401k that I cashed out early. I came to realize the importance of working hard, but that it's most important to work hard for the right reasons. The next story is called People Are Only Aware of Their Own Surroundings. As a store person at a major milling operation, I drive a forklift around the site to deliver supplies to the various departments. Mine is a 2.5 ton tiny model, whereas the others on site, about 16 in total, range from 4 to 16 tons. Since they are so large compared to mine, and being aware that they get into a zone and don't notice my presence straight away, I always keep a safe distance and sound my horn if I can't to make them aware that I'm coming through. Last week, a supervisor complained that I wasn't announcing my presence over the radio. When I made inquiries about this to a more senior person, he told me that although it's a forklift operating in a forklift operating area, it's not a production forklift. And hence, every time it moves throughout the mill, its presence is required to be announced over the radio. In spite of me pointing out that I drive the forklift a lot more than he realized and that I would be taking up a lot of radio space, he stressed that that's the rule and I had to conform. Yesterday, I was told to stop calling up every time I drive the forklift. As it turns out, people are only aware of their own surroundings and have no idea that the other people continue working once they are out of sight. Go figure. Thanks for watching the video so far. Please hit the like button to support the channel. Also, please leave a comment and let me know what you think about the video. And now, onto the next story. The third story is called Bad Neighbor. So, about 2 months ago, my neighbor moved out. Now, we weren't hanging out level friends, but we were cordial with each other. We had an agreement that if the other wasn't home when a package came, we'd go grab it and just give it to the other when they got home, as my neighborhood is littered with porch pirates. So, a month ago, my new neighbor moves in, and he has a package arrive and he's not home. I grab the package, figuring I'd try and make the same arrangement with him. An hour later or so, he pulls in his driveway. I come out to meet him with his package. I hand him the package and give him the rundown about package thieves in the area. He loses it and tells me, "I don't need your help, mind your own business. Leave me alone." And he storms off into his house. Okay, cool. Fast forward to yesterday. I'm outside doing my garden and my neighbor isn't home. The Amazon guy comes and drops off a package on his doorstep. Cue the malicious compliance. Not 5 minutes after the Amazon guy leaves, a porch pirate comes, grabs the package and just starts casually walking back to the sidewalk. Just as the thief makes it to the sidewalk, the douche pulls into his driveway. The thief takes off running. He gets out of his car and starts screaming at me. I told him, "Nah dude, I believe you told me you didn't need my help and to mind my own business." So that's what I did. Gets all mad and runs into his house. You could hear him breaking things. The last story is called Not Here at Night. Back when I was in college, I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with a nice German student. He was a nice guy and he would often have his friends over. I didn't mind it at all because I just moved to the area and needed new friends anyways. Our landlady though, she was a nightmare. She was this small, grumpy lady who would complain over the smallest things. She doesn't live with us but tries to control everything. The color of our sheets, the scent of candles that we light, where we put our stuff. Needless to say, we hated her. We pay for our electricity and water, so it doesn't matter if we have our friends or family stay over once in a while, because whatever they consume more of, we will foot the bill ourselves anyways. My sister visits me once a month for one night, just whenever she's in town. One day, my landlord found out and got so mad she wanted to call the cops on us for not respecting the rule of guests cannot spend the night at her property. The only reason she does this is that she feels if a guest would stay a night, they would have to pay her the full rent for the month. The whole month. But here comes the malicious compliance. When one of my German roommate's friends was laid off from his main job, he was left homeless with only a grave shift part-time job. He asked if he could stay with us for about a week or two. I told him I didn't mind, but my landlady might mind. They told me not to worry. She was fuming when she found out. It was easy for her, and on the day after he decided to stay with us. She checks on us unannounced every other day and has security cameras outside our door. She threatened to call the cops on us again. All my roommate said was, "But you told us explicitly no one can spend the night at our property." He is never here at night because he's working, so there's no rule broken here. She had nothing to say and left. We could hear her screaming from inside her car that was parked right outside. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment and subscribe for more content. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye bye.